In 2025, the world's eyes will once again turn to China as a wave of colossal megaprojects approaches completion. From futuristic transportation systems and record-breaking bridges to awe-inspiring skyscrapers and revolutionary green energy projects, China is preparing to showcase to the world what ambition, technology, and determination can achieve when combined on a national scale. These are not just projects of steel, glass, and concrete. They are symbols of a vision, a future in which China positions itself as the beating heart of global innovation and development. Every few years, China surprises the world with projects so massive in scale and so daring in execution that they seem almost impossible. The year 2025 is no exception. This is the year when years of planning, engineering, and investment will materialize into breathtaking realities. To understand the scope, we must dive deep into the heart of these megaprojects, each one a story of human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of progress. Let us begin with infrastructure, the cornerstone of China's rapid transformation. The country has long been known for its massive investments in high-speed rail. By 2025, China's high-speed rail network will stretch to an astonishing 50,000 kilometers, the largest in the world, connecting even the most remote regions of the nation. One of the crown jewels of this network is the high-speed maglev line under construction, designed to travel at speeds up to 600 kilometers per hour. By 2025, the first major maglev routes will be operational, reducing travel times between key cities from hours to mere minutes. Imagine traveling the distance between Beijing and Shanghai, over 1,000 kilometers, in just over 2.5 hours. This is not the future. This is 2025. But the railways are not the only engineering marvels nearing completion. China's obsession with building the tallest, longest, and biggest structures continues. In the city of Shenzhen, one of the world's tallest new skyscrapers is on the verge of completion. The Shenzhen Tower, a futuristic design of steel and glass, will not only redefine the skyline but also house green technologies, vertical gardens, and cutting-edge office spaces. It will stand as a beacon of China's booming tech-driven economy, symbolizing both power and sustainability. Beyond skyscrapers, China's bridges and tunnels are equally mind-blowing. The ambitious Shenzhen-Izhongshan Bridge, a massive sea-crossing project that combines bridges, tunnels, and artificial islands, is expected to be fully completed by 2025. Spanning more than 20 kilometers, it will drastically cut travel time between two of the most economically dynamic regions in the Pearl River Delta. This engineering wonder is a reminder of China's ability to reshape geography itself for the sake of progress. And then there is the world's deepest and longest undersea high-speed rail tunnel, currently being built to connect Ningbo and Jushan. When finished, this project will make history, combining tunneling technology, high-speed rail, and marine engineering into a single, record-breaking feat. China is also racing to complete some of the most advanced airports on the planet. Following the success of Beijing Daxing International Airport, hailed as the starfish for its iconic design, 2025 will see the rise of several next-generation airports equipped with automated systems, AI-driven traffic control, and sustainable energy usage. These airports are designed not only to serve the booming domestic travel market but also to position China as a global aviation hub that rivals Europe and the United States. Energy megaprojects also stand at the forefront of China's agenda. By 2025, China plans to unveil a massive expansion of solar and wind farms across its deserts and coastlines. Among these is the world's largest desert solar project, spanning thousands of acres, capable of powering millions of homes. Alongside solar, offshore wind power plants in the South China Sea are expected to be completed, using some of the tallest wind turbines in the world. These projects highlight China's ambition to become a green energy superpower while reducing dependence on fossil fuels. But perhaps the most ambitious energy project is in the realm of nuclear fusion. By 2025, China's artificial sun, known as the Experimental Advanced Superconducting Tokamak East, is set to make significant milestones towards sustained nuclear fusion. If successful, it would be a leap forward not just for China, but for humanity, bringing us closer to unlimited, clean energy. Beyond the Earth itself, China is extending its mega-project ambitions into space. In 2025, the Chinese space station, known as Tiangong, will be fully completed and operational. This station will serve as a hub for international research, deep space experiments, and a stepping stone for future missions to the Moon and beyond. In addition, massive satellite constellations are being launched to rival SpaceX's Starlink, aiming to provide internet access to billions of people across Asia and Africa. Urban development is another story unfolding. China's futuristic smart cities are nearing completion in 2025. Xiong'an New Area, for example, is being built as a city of the future, powered entirely by clean energy, designed with self-driving cars in mind, and built with advanced AI systems to manage traffic, utilities, and services. It is a laboratory for the cities of tomorrow, where sustainability and technology converge. Water megaprojects also define China's ambitions. The South-to-North Water Diversion Project, one of the largest engineering undertakings in human history, continues to expand in 2025. This system of canals and tunnels, stretching thousands of kilometers, is designed to transport water from the resource-rich south to the arid north, reshaping ecosystems and supporting hundreds of millions of people. Even cultural and sporting megaprojects are reaching completion. Massive stadiums, opera houses, and museums are being prepared ahead of international events, with designs that combine traditional Chinese architecture with modern innovation. These projects serve not just as infrastructure, but as showcases of China's soft power, art, and cultural pride. All of these megaprojects reveal a deeper truth about China. For decades, the nation has pursued development with a speed and scale unmatched in history. 2025 will be another milestone, a year that demonstrates how quickly China can imagine, plan, and execute projects that the rest of the world might not even dare to attempt. Yet, these projects are not without controversy. Critics point to concerns about debt, environmental impacts, and social displacement. But for China, the narrative remains clear: progress cannot wait. These projects are investments in the future, designed to secure China's place as a global leader in innovation infrastructure and technology. When the year 2025 arrives, and these megaprojects open their doors, switch on their lights, and begin operations, the world will once again be reminded that China is building at a scale that few others can match. Skyscrapers touching the clouds, trains flying faster than airplanes, bridges bending across the seas, and power plants harnessing the forces of the sun itself, all of these stand as monuments to a nation determined to shape the future on its own terms. So, as the countdown to 2025 continues, one question remains: are we witnessing the rise of a new global era built on China's megaprojects? Or are we seeing the limits of ambition pushed to their breaking point? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: by 2025 the world will not only see China's megaprojects completed but also its vision for the future coming alive before our eyes. To truly understand the scale of what China is attempting in 2025, we need to look closer at the individual projects, each one a masterpiece of engineering vision and persistence. These are not just structures, they are stories. Take the Shenzhen-Zhongshan Bridge for example. At first glance it might appear to be just another bridge. But in reality, it is one of the most complex sea-crossing megastructures ever attempted. Stretching more than 24 kilometers across the Pearl River Delta, it will connect two of the fastest-growing economic regions in the world. Engineers had to build artificial island-carved underwater tunnels and raise massive bridge towers capable of withstanding typhoons, earthquakes, and saltwater corrosion. When completed in 2025, the journey between Shenzhen and Zhongshan will be cut from 2 hours to just 30 minutes. For the millions who live and work in this region, this is more than a bridge, it is a lifeline, a link that will fuel economic growth for decades to come. Then there is the Ningbo-Jushan Undersea Tunnel. Tunneling beneath the ocean floor is one of the most difficult challenges in modern engineering. Here, China is not only digging deep into the seabed but also combining it with high-speed rail, allowing trains to race through a submerged tunnel at incredible speeds. It is a project that pushes the boundaries of what is possible, blending marine science, tunnel boring technology and transportation engineering into a single vision. When trains begin running through this tunnel in 2025, it will mark another world first. High-speed rail itself deserves a chapter of its own. No country has embraced high-speed rail the way China has. In just a few decades, China has gone from having almost no high-speed trains to possessing more than 2/3 of the world's entire network. And now in 2025 the maglev revolution is set to begin. Unlike traditional high-speed trains, maglevs float above the tracks using magnetic levitation, eliminating friction and allowing speeds of over 600 km per hour. Engineers and scientists in China have spent years perfecting the maglev system. Test runs have already shown jaw-dropping results, and by 2025, passengers will finally experience this leap in travel. This isn't just faster transport, it's a glimpse of a future where long-distance air travel could one day be replaced by ultra-fast ground transportation. But megaprojects in China don't stop at transportation. Skyscrapers are another symbol of ambition. Across the country, cities are locked in a race to build taller, greener, and smarter towers. In Shenzhen, the new megatower rising in the heart of the city is not just about height. It incorporates vertical forests, natural ventilation systems, and AI-powered smart glass that adapts to sunlight. By 2025, this skyscraper will not only redefine the skyline but also serve as a model for sustainable urban living. Meanwhile, in Wuhan, another super-tall skyscraper is on the horizon, one designed to host research centers, luxury hotels, and sky gardens, blending technology with lifestyle. China's airports are equally astonishing. Imagine walking into an airport where robots handle your luggage, biometric scanning replaces boarding passes, and AI manages flight schedules with pinpoint accuracy. By 2025, airports like Chengdu, Tianfu, and several new hubs in Western China will integrate these systems fully. This is part of China's plan to transform itself into the world's busiest air travel network, capable of handling hundreds of millions of passengers per year. Airports are no longer just gateways to destinations. They are themselves megaprojects designed like futuristic cities. Energy projects add another layer of scale. In Inner Mongolia and the Gobi Desert, vast solar farms stretch as far as the eye can see, creating seas of blue panels that shimmer under the sun. Together they generate gigawatts of power, enough to supply electricity to entire provinces. Offshore, gigantic wind turbines taller than the Eiffel Tower rise from the waters of the South China Sea, turning steadily to generate clean energy. By 2025, these projects will become operational, marking China's transition into the largest producer of renewable energy on Earth. But the crown jewel of energy research is the East Fusion Project, the so-called artificial sun. For decades, scientists have dreamed of recreating the power of the sun on Earth, limitless, clean, and safe energy through nuclear fusion. China is investing billions into this dream, and by 2025 major breakthroughs are expected. Imagine a future where energy is so abundant and clean that it transforms not just China but the entire global economy. The East Project could be the first step toward that reality. Meanwhile, high above Earth, China's ambitions extend into space. The Tiangong space station is nearing full completion in 2025. Unlike earlier space stations, Tiangong is designed for long-term habitation, scientific research, and as a base for lunar missions. Chinese astronauts, or taikonauts, are already conducting experiments in microgravity, building the foundation for deeper exploration. Alongside this, China is launching its own satellite internet system, a rival to Elon Musk's Starlink, that will connect remote regions in Asia, Africa, and South America, strengthening China's technological reach far beyond its borders. Back on Earth, China's urban planning megaprojects are perhaps the most radical of all. Xiong, a new area, described as the city of the future, is being built from scratch on a vast plain outside Beijing. Unlike traditional cities that grow chaotically over time, Xiong'an is being designed with precision: smart grids, autonomous transport, green spaces, and zero emissions. By 2025, large sections of the city will be ready, offering a glimpse into what the world's cities might look like a century from now. Water management megaprojects may not look as glamorous, but they are among the most vital. Northern China suffers from chronic water shortages, while southern China is rich in rivers and rainfall. The South to North Water Diversion Project, involving thousands of kilometers of canals, tunnels, and pumping stations, is addressing this imbalance. By 2025, more sections will be completed, bringing fresh water to Beijing, Tianjin, and other northern cities. It is an undertaking on a scale so vast that it has been compared to the Great Wall of China, an engineering wonder designed to secure the nation's survival. Cultural projects also highlight China's megaproject strategy. Grand theaters, museums, and stadiums are being constructed in cities across the nation, blending modern architecture with traditional Chinese motifs. These buildings are not just for domestic pride, they are meant to welcome the world, hosting international events and exhibitions showcasing China as a cultural as well as technological powerhouse. And as these projects come together in 2025, the world faces a critical moment. On one hand, these megaprojects symbolize progress, ambition, and the drive to create a better future. On the other hand, they raise questions about sustainability, debt, and the balance between rapid growth and environmental preservation. But one thing is undeniable: China's megaprojects are changing the world. They are redefining what is possible. They are rewriting the rules of development. And they are positioning China not just as a participant in the future, but as one of its chief architects. The year 2025 will not just mark the completion of projects, it will mark the unveiling of a new era. High-speed trains levitating across the country, skyscrapers piercing the clouds, bridges tying entire regions together, and power plants reaching for the energy of the stars. This is the China of tomorrow, arriving today. And as we watch these projects open one by one, we are left with a thought: if China can achieve all this in just a few decades, what will the next 25 years bring? When we talk about megaprojects, it is easy to get lost in numbers: kilometers of track, meters of height, billions of dollars in cost. But what makes China's upcoming projects in 2025 so fascinating are the human stories behind them. The engineers who dared to design the impossible, the workers who spent years in remote deserts or under the sea, and the visionaries who imagined a future far beyond what most nations would even attempt. Let's return to the maglev train, one of the most anticipated marvels of 2025. This isn't just another addition to China's already vast rail system. It is the culmination of decades of research. In the late 1990s, China began experimenting with maglev technology, importing knowledge from Germany and Japan. But while other nations paused, China pushed forward relentlessly. By 2021, test runs were already achieving record speeds. The dream was no longer science fiction, it was approaching reality. And now, in 2025, the first major commercial line will launch. Engineers describe the experience as flying just above the Earth, a smooth ride with almost no noise or vibration. For passengers, it is not simply about speed, it is about reimagining what travel means. Journeys that once required a flight and hours at an airport can now be completed in less time, without ever leaving the ground. For China, this is more than transport. It is a demonstration that the future belongs to those willing to take risks. Meanwhile, deep beneath the ocean, another story is unfolding. The Ningbo-Jushan undersea tunnel is one of the most daring infrastructure projects ever attempted. Stretching over 16 kilometers under the sea, it must withstand immense pressure while remaining perfectly safe for high-speed trains. Workers have spent years boring through seabeds, reinforcing walls, and testing safety systems. At one point, engineers faced a terrifying challenge. Water began seeping into one of the tunnel sections, threatening to flood the worksite. But instead of abandoning the project, they designed new sealing techniques using advanced materials that had never before been tested at this scale. By 2025, when the first train glides through this undersea passage, it will be a triumph of persistence, a reminder that no barrier is too great when human ingenuity is applied with determination. High above ground, the Shenzhen-Zhongshan Bridge is nearing completion. From a distance, it looks like a ribbon of steel floating across the Pearl River Delta. But up close, it is a battlefield of engineering challenges. Typhoons lash the region with winds strong enough to topple cranes. Saltwater corrodes steel. The seabed shifts unpredictably. Yet despite these obstacles, construction has pushed forward day and night. Thousands of workers have given years of their lives to this project, often living in temporary camps, separated from their families. When the bridge opens in 2025, connecting millions of people and cutting travel times dramatically, it will not just be a structure of concrete and cables, it will be a monument to human perseverance. But while bridges and tunnels dominate the headlines, China's energy projects may prove to be the most influential. Consider the deserts of Xinjiang and Inner Mongolia. These once barren landscapes are being transformed into vast solar farms, each stretching further than the eye can see. In the early morning, the panels awaken with the sun, tilting slowly to catch the light. By noon, they generate enough electricity to power entire cities. In the evenings, energy storage systems hold the charge, releasing it at night to keep factories running and homes lit. By 2025, China's desert solar plants will be producing more power than some entire nations consume. This is not just about electricity, it is about rewriting the rules of energy production, showing the world that clean power at a national scale is not a dream but a reality. Offshore, the story continues with wind. China's new wind farms in the South China Sea are unlike anything the world has seen. Turbines taller than 250 meters rise from the waves, each blade longer than a football field. Building them was no easy task. Ships had to transport massive sections across rough seas, while workers battled storms to assemble them at sea. But now, as they spin steadily in the ocean breeze, they stand as silent giants, providing clean power to millions. By 2025, China will have the largest offshore wind capacity in the world. And then there is fusion. The East reactor, nicknamed the artificial sun, is perhaps the boldest of all. For decades, scientists have dreamed of harnessing the same power that fuels the stars, fusion energy. Unlike traditional nuclear reactors, fusion produces no long-lived radioactive waste, no greenhouse gases, and potentially unlimited energy. But it requires unimaginable conditions: temperatures hotter than the sun's core, magnetic fields powerful enough to contain plasma, and machinery precise down to the micrometer. China has invested billions into this dream. By 2025, the East Project aims to achieve stable fusion reactions for longer durations than ever before. It may not yet power cities, but it will prove that humanity is closer than ever to unlocking the energy of the stars. If successful, this could be the single most important breakthrough of the 21st century. Space is the next frontier. The Tiangong space station, set to be fully operational in 2025, represents China's determination to reach beyond Earth. Unlike the International Space Station, which is a collaboration between many nations, Tiangong is a wholly Chinese creation. Its modules are equipped with advanced laboratories, robotic arms, and living quarters for long-term missions. Taikonauts aboard the station are conducting experiments in biology, materials science, and medicine, research that could one day support human life on the Moon or Mars. By 2025, Tiangong will host international crews as well, signaling China's willingness to lead in global space exploration. But China is not stopping there. Plans are already in motion for lunar bases, asteroid mining missions, and even Mars exploration. And in 2025, as Tiangong becomes fully active, the world will recognize that space is no longer dominated by a single nation. Back on Earth, the creation of Xiong, a new area, offers a different kind of megaproject, a city designed not for the past, but for the future. Imagine a city where cars drive themselves, guided by AI. Streets are lined with smart sensors that monitor traffic, air quality, and energy use in real time. Every building is powered by renewable energy designed to produce as much as it consumes. Public spaces are green with vertical gardens climbing the walls of skyscrapers. Waste is recycled automatically. Water is purified and reused. This is Xiong'an, a city that represents not just China's future, but potentially the blueprint for future urban centers worldwide. By 2025, the first districts will be complete, welcoming residents into a city built entirely from vision. As we move closer to 2025, it becomes clear that these projects are more than national achievements. They are signals to the world. They say, this is what is possible when ambition meets resources. They challenge other nations to think bigger, to act faster, and to imagine futures they once thought impossible. But they also force us to ask difficult questions. Can the environment sustain projects of such massive scale? Can societies adapt quickly enough to the speed of change? And will the benefits truly reach everyone, or will they remain symbols of progress for the few? One thing is certain: when the year 2025 arrives, and these megaprojects open one after another, we will be witnessing not just the completion of infrastructure, but the beginning of a new global era. An era where the limits of what humanity can build are pushed further than ever before. Let us return once more to the railways, the veins of China's development, carrying people, ideas, and goods across a nation larger than continental Europe. By 2025, when China unveils its first fully commercial maglev route, the world will witness not only a new form of transportation but also the arrival of a technology long trapped in the realm of dreams. Maglev trains are not a new idea. The concept was first imagined over a century ago, when inventors theorized about using magnets to lift and propel trains above the tracks, eliminating friction. Germany and Japan built prototypes decades ago, with Japan even constructing a maglev line in the early 2000s. Yet these projects remained limited, too expensive, too experimental, too fragile for mainstream use. China, however, chose a different path. Instead of retreating, it poured billions into research and infrastructure. Engineers tested magnet arrays in harsh climates, experimented with track stability, and reimagined passenger comfort. Slowly, the impossible began to take shape. Now, in 2025, the Shanghai-Hangzhou corridor will be among the first to host this marvel. What once took 3 hours will take less than 45 minutes. Imagine leaving Shanghai after breakfast, floating silently through the countryside, and arriving in Hangzhou before your coffee has cooled. For passengers, it is breathtaking. For China, it is revolutionary. And for the world, it is a signal. The age of maglev transport has arrived. But while trains rise above the ground, other megaprojects descend into the depths of the earth. The Ningbo-Zhoushan undersea tunnel stands as one of the most audacious attempts in engineering history. Zhoushan is an archipelago, its people long dependent on ferries and weather-prone sea crossings. To bind the islands to the mainland, China conceived a tunnel unlike any other, nearly 17 kilometers beneath the seabed, carrying high-speed trains at over 250 kilometers per hour. The challenges were immense. Seawater pressure threatened to collapse the tunnel. Shifting sediments made drilling unpredictable. At one point, engineers had to halt operations for months after a drilling head became stuck under layers of rock harder than expected. But innovation was relentless. New boring machines were designed. Sealing systems were upgraded. Layer after layer, the seabed gave way. In 2025, when the first passengers step into this undersea train, they will be part of history, gliding beneath the ocean at speeds once thought impossible. And above the waters of the Pearl River Delta, another dream rises, the Shenzhen-Zhongshan Bridge. Its scale defies belief, a combination of suspension bridges, undersea tunnels, and artificial islands stretching more than 24 kilometers. When construction began, critics argued it was too ambitious. Typhoons would destroy it, they said. Maintenance would be impossible. But China pressed forward, building towers taller than skyscrapers, driving piles deep into the seabed, and constructing tunnel segments on shore before sinking them into position underwater. Thousands of workers labored in brutal conditions, summer heat, winter storms, and relentless waves. Some spent years away from home, dedicating their lives to the project. When it opens in 2025, reducing travel times from 2 hours to 30 minutes, it will not just be an engineering feat, it will be a human triumph, a monument to perseverance. Yet transportation is only one part of China's vision. Look to the deserts of Inner Mongolia, and you will find another kind of megaproject, oceans of solar panels shimmering beneath the sun. These aren't just solar farms, they are solar continents. Spanning thousands of square kilometers, they absorb enough energy to power millions of homes and industries. The scale is staggering. To build them, entire roads were constructed across the desert to deliver materials. Workers endured sandstorms that could bury equipment overnight. Engineers designed cleaning systems to remove dust from panels using robots and drones to keep efficiency high. By 2025, these farms will generate tens of gigawatts of power, making them the largest renewable energy sites in the world. Offshore in the restless waters of the South China Sea, wind farms rise like futuristic forests. Each turbine is taller than the Statue of Liberty, its blades slicing gracefully through the air. Installing them was a logistical nightmare. Tower sections the size of buildings had to be carried by ships designed specifically for the task. Divers worked underwater to anchor foundations. Weather windows were short, one storm could delay progress for weeks. Yet, step by step, the turbines were erected. By 2025, entire provinces will be powered by wind, proving that renewable energy can scale beyond imagination. But the most daring energy project of all remains the East Reactor, the artificial sun. To many, nuclear fusion sounds like fantasy, a dream pursued by scientists for decades without success. But inside laboratories near Hefei, that dream inches closer to reality. Temperatures exceed 150 million degrees Celsius, 10 times hotter than the Sun's core. Magnetic fields wrap plasma in invisible cages, holding it just long enough to sustain reactions. Each milestone brings humanity closer to solving its greatest challenge: unlimited, clean power. By 2025, East hopes to sustain fusion for record-breaking durations. It won't yet power homes, but it will light the path toward an energy revolution. And while energy secures the Earth, space opens the heavens. The Tiangong space station will be fully operational in 2025, orbiting silently above our world. Its gleaming modules, assembled piece by piece, now form a laboratory the size of a football field. Inside, Chinese taikonauts float weightlessly, conducting experiments that no laboratory on Earth could attempt. They grow plants in zero gravity, test medicines, and study materials exposed to the harsh vacuum of space. Tiangong is more than a space station, it is a declaration. China has arrived as a space power capable of independent exploration. And soon other nations will dock their own spacecraft at Tiangong, turning it into a hub for international cooperation in orbit. Yet even as China looks to the stars, it also builds for life on Earth. In Xiong'an New Area, a new city rises from the soil. Built not for the past but for the future, Xiong'an is a testing ground for every technology imaginable. Streets are designed for autonomous cars. Buildings are connected through smart grids. Water is recycled endlessly, ensuring sustainability. AI manages everything, from traffic to electricity usage. By 2025, its first neighborhoods will be complete, welcoming families into a city unlike any the world has seen before. It is not just a city. It is a vision of how humanity might live in the 21st century and beyond. But perhaps the most vital megaproject of all is one few tourists will ever see: the South to North Water Diversion Project. For centuries, northern China has struggled with drought, while southern rivers overflow with abundance. To balance this, China is building canals and tunnels stretching thousands of kilometers, redirecting billions of cubic meters of water every year. The project is so vast it can be seen from space. Villages were relocated. Rivers were rerouted. Whole ecosystems were reshaped. By 2025, new sections will come online, supplying fresh water to Beijing, Tianjin, and northern provinces. It is one of the largest engineering projects in human history, a modern Great Wall, not built to keep enemies out, but to ensure life itself continues. These are the megaprojects of 2025. Each one tells a story of ambition, struggle, and triumph. Each one pushes the boundaries of what humanity can achieve. Together, they reveal a nation not content to wait for the future, but determined to build it. And as 2025 arrives, the world will watch in awe as China unveils not just projects, but possibilities: bridges that conquer seas, trains that fly without wings, cities that think, power plants that mimic the stars, and space stations that carry humanity into the cosmos. China's upcoming megaprojects set to finish in 2025 are more than just buildings, roads, and bridges. They are symbols of a nation pushing the limits of what's possible, projects that combine speed, scale, and ambition in a way the world rarely sees. From futuristic transportation to record-breaking infrastructure, each one tells the story of how China is reshaping not only its own future, but also influencing global progress. 2025 won't just be another year. It will be remembered as a milestone when these incredible visions came to life. And as these megaprojects open to the public, they will stand as monuments to innovation, engineering brilliance, and human determination. The question now is simple: which of these projects do you think will have the biggest impact on the world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through China's megaprojects, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world's most amazing creations. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep being inspired by the future unfolding right before our eyes. Subscribe now and join us as we uncover the world's most epic megaprojects. Don't miss the future being built. Hit subscribe and stay inspired. More mind-blowing megaprojects are coming. Subscribe today. Turn on notifications and never miss the next big build shaping our world. From skyscrapers to space tech, we've got it all. Subscribe now.